Okay, guys, welcome back to Happy Homebrew, Stenson, Happy Eating. So, I've got another system which I've knocked up today, so I want to show you it. As I showed you before on the early video with the beer engine, how that's connected up to a plastic barrel. What I've done is I've now bought one of these collapsible water carriers. Now, a word of warning if you want to try and do it this way. Buy a better quality plastic water carrier. I bought a really cheap one from a store, high street store, where everything's the same price, i.e. Poundland. Well, it was £1 and it was rubbish. It went straight in the bin. So I don't buy a cheap one. On saying that, I only paid £2.99 for this. It was on special, but you can get them for about £4 or £5 from quite a few places, camping shops and things like that. It's a 15 litre capacity. You can get smaller capacity ones if you want to, but obviously 15 litres is a good amount of beer to carry. That'll allow me in one brew, which is about 20 litres. It'll allow me to put one complete brew in here and have 5 litres over to bottle, so I can have some bottled and some on pull. Now, the principle is, and it's the way that this expensive system you can buy on the internet is, it works by a plastic carrier filled. And the idea is that when the beer engine pulls the fluid, this collapses under its own pressure. So it's airtight and will work fine with a beer engine, which, as I've said before in my earlier videos, is the best system of producing beer. Now, the clever bits, if you can call it clever, or the simple bits, is all I've done is I've connected this hose to the tap with a Jubilee clip. Now, you have to buy decent hose, don't buy cheap hose. Okay, because if it's cheap, it won't form a seal. If you don't get a very good seal, you can put a bit of silicone seal around here, or put a bit of silicone seal on the inside of the pipe, or PT tape. I don't know if you know whether it's a plastic tape you put on the inside that forms a better seal. So you want that pretty tight, because that's going to stop on. So the tap will still work on, off, on, off. Now, obviously, to pull beer, the tap's got to be in the on position. You can have the tap at the top of the carrier. I'll show it from a distance, because what's going to happen, this plastic is going to get sucked down, the air is going to get sucked out, it's going to hit the liquid and pull the liquid through until it reaches the bottom. So you haven't got to worry about an air gap, and you haven't got to worry about the tap being at the top. It will work. It will work. Now, this pipe then runs to a male connector. Now, the female connector, I've got it on it's a valve one. It's slightly more expensive than the other ones which I bought. This one. Okay, so when this is disconnected, you won't get water through here. It is important that you turn this tap off when you don't have it working, because if you don't have it working, then I'm afraid that you might lose liquid. So if you do it this way, it'll work fine. So all you do is connect that up. If you do that, collect it up as normal to the beer engine, and then you can pull the beer through from here. Now, this plastic box is just a standard plastic storage box and cost, I think, £2. That's all it did. And obviously I've got a lid, which the lid goes over the top here and just fits on the top there like that. Alright, so I've got a self-contained storage box. Yep. And that can go on the floor, and you can pull from the floor, or you can put it from a surface on top. But I will put it on the floor. I'll put it under the bar, and you won't see it. Now, the big advantage of this one, other than over the plastic barrel, is that you can drop freezer blocks down the side of there, and that will mean it'll be at the right temperature as well. So it works both ways. So it costs literally nothing. It's cost me £2.99 for the carrier bag. I already had the plastic barrel, the plastic storage box, a piece of hose. You can make the hose longer if you wanted to, but there's no need, because it's on a connector, so there's no need. So piece of hose, a connector, which I think cost £1. As I say, that's got a valve in, so it won't operate until you put the male connector in. And obviously, once you've got your beer engine, you've got your beer engine. So that's a really good system, and it's cost literally next to nothing, because that's the idea with homebrew. Homebrew must be cheap. If you're doing it not cheap and you start spending big money on it, on equipment and extra stuff, that pushes the price of the beer up. And every time you push the price of the beer up, it makes it less cost effective. So you must really try and think about that when you do things. Or if you can save a bit of money on certain things, you can invest that money on better quality brews and stuff like that. So the industry aren't losing out, it's just a better way of doing it, okay? So it works. I'll do another follow-up video to this when I've actually got some beer in here, because I'm doing a beer at the moment which I'll do a review on, and it's a clone beer of a local brewery, so we'll see what that turns out like, but I'll show you how it works actually on the pull, okay? Hope you enjoyed that. Happy homebrew, Stenson, happy eating.